Hey guys, welcome back to Make Away Life Coaching. My name is Sarah and I'm the life coach here. Okay, it's Enneagram Friday and like I have said before, I'm not an Enneagram coach. There are so many good Enneagram specific coaches you can find if you get as fired up about this whole thing as I am. But just as a life coach in general, I just want to tell you, I'm just going to be sharing every Friday about how much the Enneagram has changed my life. Now that I've been into it for a while, and it's just going to be me sharing my personal experience, because my hope is that you will get interested in learning your Enneagram number so that you can own your story, which is a big part of what I do with life coaching. Today, we're going to be talking about the flow. So, if you've seen my website or anything, I'm really into the ocean and waves and the flow. Maybe because I'm from California and we talk about stuff like the flow, but there's so many levels to it. But I just want to tell you, most of you know, I'm an Enneagram 8, which means my general, we are called the forces of nature, and I am. But here's the problem. And the Enneagram has helped me understand this on a deeper level than I ever thought I could imagine. I always knew I was a control freak, but I always kind of thought, oh, everyone's a control freak. No. Well, maybe, but probably not. But here's what the Enneagram has helped me realize. If everybody else has like control issues, then I'm like 100 levels higher than that. Enneagrams 8s fear betrayal, and we fear a loss of control. And it is like an existential crisis. So for me, my survival feels threatened when I'm not in control. And before the Enneagram, I kind of thought like, oh, is this like a childhood wound or who knows what? And you know, I have heard the Enneagram can be a response to childhood stuff, but I actually think that I probably like came out of the chute this way. And it's just really empowering to know what we're dealing with so that we can own our story, which involves making the changes. So this pandemic for me has really given me the time to sit with myself and think about how I respond to life and how I want to respond to life, which is the whole point of the Enneagram. It gives us ways to grow. You're not stuck being a control freak like every other personality, and I studied them all in my marriage and family therapy program, my master's. Most of them say, this is how you are, just accept it. The Enneagram says, this is how you are, know it, but change it. And it gives you actual tools to work towards your ultimate goal for yourself. So, here's what I've learned. The pandemic is making everything change. And I love change as long as I'm in charge of the change. But I do not love change that is thrust upon me. But it's becoming more and more evident that this is a time of great change that we're living through, and I want to fight it, but I cannot fight it. And so what the Enneagram is helping me to do is to surrender to the flow. Surrender to the fact that this appears to be a time of great change, and I'm not in charge of almost any of those changes. And all I can do is rely on my faith in God because He is still on the throne. And don't you think every Enneagram 8, here, actually, I'm just going to show you. This is on my, what is that called? Bulletin board. And it's in my bathroom. And it's on my, what's that thing? Visor in my car. Because I have really learned that this is where my freedom is going to come from. God sits on His holy throne. Psalm 47:8. And so even though the changes are scary, God is still on the throne. So I can take my hands off the wheel, to quote Carrie Underwood, and I can relax and surrender to God's flow, surrender to what is happening, and just anchored in my faith, which is how I'm able to basically do all of my personality changes, is always starting with the base of my faith. Because if I can really trust God, which I do, then I can let go of some of my old ways of doing things, which felt like survival for most of my life. But now I'm starting to feel like my controllingness is actually prison. And I want to be free. And so I'm laying it down every day. And when I notice myself getting super busy trying to control things, I just have to remember God is still on his holy throne and I have nothing to worry about, and I'm going to lay it down. I'm just going to be like, hey, I'm giving you responsibility for getting my kid's school open because it appears there's nothing I can do. That's just a recent example. Thank you for joining us. Come back every single Friday. Oh, make sure you hit the subscribe button because we're here every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And every Friday, we're going to be talking about how powerful the Enneagram can be toward changing your life, which is a big part of what life coaching is going for. And I'm just sharing how it's changed my life, which is pretty profoundly. So don't miss another episode. See you next week on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.